Yo, haha, they'll never say.
Well, I do think I know what happened with that Facebook outage, but I'm not going to say anything yet. But I will say this. If you're having issues, here's the things you need to know. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Milton Episode coming back with another quick video. And today, I want to talk about the whole Facebook outage. Just keep in mind that, I've been using this for years, and it's kind of been a great thing to use. However, when it comes to authentication and user accounts, it can get confusing to some people. Now, you have people out there that's probably watching this video that's the super expert, and you could be that person that really doesn't know tech that much. So I'm going to try to kind of keep it balanced so that when I'm explaining it, it's not like a little bit too confusing. It kind of makes sense. So long story short, Oculus used to be the company that had headsets. It had the Quest headsets, excuse me, before Facebook and Meta decided to kind of chime in and take over completely. So before Meta accounts, these Meta Facebook accounts, you had an Oculus account. And I think it was last year where they instructed people to merge that Oculus account to a Meta account. And you also had the option of just doing a brand new Meta account, or you could at least create a Meta standalone account and associate it with your Facebook and also your Instagram account for multiple ways of logging in your account, if that makes sense. So long story short, you got Oculus, you got Meta. After, I want to say, March of 2024, which is this month, all Oculus accounts will be completely deleted. I mean, like, just finito, done. And it's just going to be Meta only. So bear in mind, because of the outage, you have to re-authenticate your account. Meta sent out, if I'm not mistaken, like a message to users to let them know, like, look, after March 21st or 24th, if I'm not mistaken, we are getting rid of anybody who have yet to merge an Oculus account with a Meta account. This is where the authentication process takes place. With Meta, if you go on your account, if you created your account, I think it's under security and passwords, you do have the option to activate two-factor authentication. I don't think Meta, to my knowledge, does multi. And what that means is you're going to be using an additional secure method to log on your account, whether it be on the mobile phone web browser or your desktop web browser. You, in addition to just using your username, your email address, and the password that you use to create the account, you're going to have an extra layer of security. So what is that? It could be one or two things. It can be a recovery code, which is basically on your account. When you log in your Meta, you go under settings, and you can retrieve what those recovery codes are. Let's just say for whatever reason you forgot what the password is, you can put the code in, boom, recovery code to reset the password that you forgot. Okay, that's one method. The second method is called the Authenticator app. There are different types of Authenticator apps when you go into your Apple Store, when you go into the Android store, that you can download. Me personally, I use Microsoft Authenticator because what I'm doing is basically using an authentication app that works in conjunction with Meta. So bear that in mind. When you go under your password, if I'm not mistaken, it's called password, under settings and security on your Meta account online, and you want to turn on two-factor authentication, what you're doing is you're using an app that can generate a 6-digit passcode every 30 seconds. So it's on the 30-second interval, in addition to your username and password that you're going to use when you first initially sign on the Meta account. You're going to use one of those 6-digit passcodes that's just basically going to generate every single time you log into your account. Again, when you log on to Meta, your username, your password, and then the 6-digit code that's populating on the authentication app. Why this is crucial, because people, when you go on your headset, it asks you to put I want to say it wasn't a 6-digit code. It was like an authentication code on the actual headset that you had to put in on your Meta account in order to synchronize everything. So They want to make sure that you are who you say you are, and that when you're logging on your Meta account, that's all using the 6-digit authentication code to log in, like the actual account. You're going to be able to put the code that shows on your headset on the actual Meta account. Does that make sense? Basically, I'm a user. I go to meta.com and I'm logging in to authenticate my credentials, my email, my password, in addition to the authentication app, which generates that 6-digit code every 30 seconds. So it's the password plus the 6-digit code. And trust me, you'll see a screen where it's asking you to put the 6-digit code in, and then you're able to log into your account. Once you're able to log into your account, then you're going to use the code that generates on the headset to actually put in on the account, and that should synchronize both the headset and your Meta account to make everything work again. It sounds a little confusing because of the amount of codes used. I know it's just 2 sets of codes. There's a code that's being generated on the headset alone. When this reaches out to Meta servers, I think the Meta servers are sending the code to whatever headset that you have on. And it functions just like the actual authentication app to a certain point. It's just generating a generic code sent to your headset as long as it's connected to the Wi-Fi. And then for what it's doing is saying it's trying to authenticate to make sure that your Meta account matches what they have on file for your actual headset. So think of like the serial number that's associated to the actual headset. It's on file to work with your Meta account. Hopefully that actually clarifies some of the problems that some people are having. I know some people are saying, well, where do I put this 6-digit code and this, that, and it's likely that you have 2-factor turned on. And if you don't, I would encourage you to turn on 2-factor and multi-factor authentication on any level platform that requires you to create a actual username and a password for any account. Like, this is an added layer of security. Instead of using the generic username and password to get yourself into an account, you want at least a more secure way of logging on your account that requires not just the username and password, but the username, the password, in addition to the 6-digit code that changes every 30 or whatever interval seconds according to that time. So make sure that when you're putting that 6-digit code, look at the timer. I'm showing you a picture right here. Make sure that timer does not hit 00 by the time you're trying to enter that 6-digit code, because it changes. Within that 30 seconds, make sure you're putting in that 6-digit code as is prompting you on the Meta account when you're trying to log in online, to ensure that everything is working like it should, clockwork. Everything's all timing. And you have to do this because you have hackers out there that's always relying on just your username and password, and then boom, I got access to your account to go wild. Now it's a little bit more secure. It's not 100% secure, but it gives you kind of that added layer of protections, knowing that's even if somebody did know your username and password, they also need to know what the 6-digit generic code is that changes every 30 seconds. It makes it a little bit harder. So hopefully that just kind of clarifies what's going on with the whole Facebook outage. Again, some people have their speculations as to whether they got hacked. I don't know. I don't think that could be the case, but I do think that the fact that the same month that they're getting rid of Oculus accounts and they're just making standalone Meta, I don't know. I'm not trying to put anything out there. They clarified this as a technical issue. But your boy Magnificent Man, I am out for now. Today is, I can't even remember, Wednesday. But you guys, stay blessed.